Pesticides are a critical component of conventional agriculture and serve as valuable tools to manage insects, weeds, crop diseases, and other pests. When used properly, pesticides can manage pests without posing a risk of unreasonable adverse effects to human health or the environment. Drift can expose people, wildlife, and the environment to harmful pesticide residues. It can also result in property losses and crop damage. The North Dakota Department of Agriculture is the lead pesticide regulatory agency in the state and is charged with investigating pesticide drift cases and other reports of misuse. The department is granted this authority through state law, which specifies what the department can do. The law does not allow the department to recoup damages for parties with economic loss. Economic loss needs to be handled between the affected party and the applicator. The department does not have authority to seek compensation on behalf of the affected party. If the department discovers pesticide misuse, the department may issue an enforcement action consisting of a warning, a monetary fine, or suspending an applicator's certification. While it is impossible to completely eliminate drift, there are things that applicators can do to dramatically reduce the chances that drift will occur. Todd Kautzman from Mott Grain and Agronomy has been recognized as a two-time Dealer of the Year and is a former National Environmental Respect Award winner. He was presented with the award due to his commitments to excellence and his efforts to reduce pesticide drift.
Nowadays, as far as equipment, we've got very good equipment. We've got excellent equipment. It's going to come down to the person in the seat applying the product. Use some common sense. Again, watch your temperature, your wind, your nozzle size, the amount of water you're putting on. So that's extremely important.
You got to pay attention to speed and pressures and then what nozzles that you're using. From a drift management standpoint, you have drift retardants to pay attention to too. So common sense is still the key, but we have a lot of tools at our disposal to use. We just have to be prepared to use them.
Brian Rao has been an aerial applicator near Medina, North Dakota for more than 30 years. He is a current board member and a past president of the National Agricultural Aviation Association. He is one of the top commercial pesticide applicators in the state and a nationally recognized expert on aerial pesticide application.
Well, the main thing for safety is use the correct product and to follow the label and to keep the product on target. We consider this a matter of professionalism for ourselves and obviously a matter of necessity for the aerial application industry, and ultimately it helps agriculture also.
And common sense is still number one. Are you going to spray with no wind against a sensitive crop? Probably not. You're going to want to breeze a 3 to 8 mile an hour breeze in the opposite direction.
Off-site movement of pesticides can put the environment and people at risk. It can also cause economic losses when pesticides drift onto adjacent crops and desirable vegetation. For these reasons, drift is illegal under North Dakota law. However, how you as applicators respond to an alleged drift incident often determines how the incident is resolved and whether an affected landowner files a drift complaint with the Agriculture Department. Wholesale Ag Products in Carrington is a two-time winner of the North Dakota Outstanding Pesticide Dealer of the Year Award.
Anybody know anything else about pesticides?
Largely due to their efforts to be active members of the local community and promoting a positive image for the pesticide industry.
What's this word? Yes, right here.
Agriculture.
Agriculture. Is agriculture important in North Dakota?
Yes.
Agriculture is very, very important in North Dakota. We live in this community and we have our neighbors, our friends, our families, our customers, and we don't like hard feelings because someone got some drift or someone doesn't understand the benefits of pesticides. So if we can get that message out, I think everyone gets along a little bit better, and maybe they have more respect for the farmer that's out there trying to save his crop. So are pesticides good or bad then?
Bad.
They're bad. How many of you think pesticides are bad? Sometimes these children get indoctrinated at a pretty young age that this is bad and this is bad. So maybe it's good to tell them also at a young age that, hey, we live in a farming community and a lot of our neighbors are farmers and they're trying to do a good job and they try to be good stewards of the environment, and maybe they need some of these pesticides to take care of some of the problems that they have in their fields. So let's use these pesticides responsibly, and if they are used responsibly, they are a very valuable tool. Let's ask that question again. How many of you think pesticides are bad? Okay, raise your hand if you think they're a good thing.
North Dakota is home to diverse agriculture, leading the nation in the production of many crops. As applicators, we need to be cognizant that treated fields are often found in close proximity to sensitive sites, such as organic producers, vineyards, and bee yards. These sites are extremely sensitive to pesticide drift.
Open communication, I just can't emphasize it enough with the beekeeper and myself as an operator. I mean, that is part of our responsibility to the beekeeper, and vice versa. You know, his responsibility is to let us know, and it just will work with them.
Every third mouthful of food that we eat is from honeybee pollination of that crop. So if we didn't have honeybee, our diets would be very different.
Members of the public can search the North Dakota Mapping application on the North Dakota Department of Agriculture homepage for registered bee yards, vineyards, and organic producers using a variety of search functions. If sensitive sites are found near a field to be sprayed with pesticides, an applicator can also use the application to get contact information for those sensitive sites.
If they would simply contact that beekeeper and have a dialogue with them, then they can come up with a plan to either move the bees, maybe make the application at a time when the bees are not in the area. And the best person to ask that is the beekeeper.
Communication is the key. Communication between the beekeeper, the applicator, the grower, to get this, so we can be in a position where we can all survive.
We had a conversation that led to the protection of the hives, in some cases by moving the hives, but most of the time it was because the farmer chose a product and a time that allowed the bees to stay in their place. And that's really what it takes to protect bees, is for everybody to understand the value of honeybees and that they all have a role to play in their success.
We don't have pollinators. Where are we at, Nag? Where are we at? It's such a critical issue.
When used properly, pesticides are a critical component of conventional agriculture, and our ability to feed a growing population depends on our ability to manage pests. North Dakota pesticide applicators are faced with challenges, not only with high winds that can make it difficult to spray pesticides without pesticide drift, but also the presence of highly sensitive sites near fields to be treated. Pesticide drift can and does happen. However, how we respond to those incidents has a direct impact on how those incidents are resolved. As a pesticide applicator, it is your responsibility to use pesticides legally and properly. Becoming a certified pesticide applicator is a great first step. Learn from others and ask for assistance from your local agronomist, crop consultant, equipment dealer, or county agent if you need help setting up your sprayer to minimize drift. Using pesticides properly will promote a positive image for pesticide users. A key strength of North Dakota is our regard for our friends and neighbors. Please remember to put yourself in others' shoes and to treat others like you would like to be treated. If you do so, and if you treat drift allegations professionally and respectfully, we are all better off. Wholesale Ag Products in Carrington